Hey there, how you doing? I'm back today with another video, but instead of doing a music review, I decided to do something a little bit different. Now, for those of you who watch the channel for music, I wore a musical shirt today. It's an old Slipknot shirt. Now, this shirt, I guess in this video, is dedicated to the memory of Paul Gray, because we all miss the guy. Unfortunately, there's a lot of holes in the shirt, and it might have to be replaced soon. But anyway, let's get on to the content of this video. A little while back, I actually wrote a dystopian fiction story that I'd like to share here on this channel to see if anybody likes it or if there's any sort of interest in this type of thing. Now, instead of me reading it, I brought my my guest star here today is ForbiddenDarkWolf.
I'm told I have a better voice for this, so I get to work on it.
Yeah, I just wrote the story. Someone else can read it. The story is called Benefaction of Black, and it's something I wrote a little while ago but haven't done much with. So maybe you guys will like this. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's get on to the actual prologue here.
So the prologue is called A Container of Stone Now Filled with the Flesh and Blood of a Quiet Man. He sat within the forgotten walls, illuminated by the dripping candle, shielding the others from the startling hum of the lights, and the void separating himself from the commonality of mankind. It was only natural for the others to be gripped by the threads of slumber at such an unruly hour. The flame sitting before him, flickering in the object's shadow, was the light of knowledge. Though it was not visible through the body of the porous edges, its presence could be felt, thrown onto the surrounding walls in its indirection. The walls around him were cold stone, those in his hand cheap wood, a box held together by cheap tacks. Both had consumed the memories of an age now drifting off into the distance. Perhaps that's all there ever was, whispered the spirit of observation to itself. The man himself, though held in the darkness of its shadow all the while, could feel a certain sense of sorrowful loss for the truth having evaded existence, in a way, though its denial of the recognition of the lick of vision's lukewarm embrace. The man's fingernails, sitting at the very edge of the age-withered limbs, smelling of certain distinct earthen tones, could only search so deep. One hand was placed on the top of the rough-walled container of sorts, the other gripping the respective side. He sought a certain amount of mortal stability found within these walls, though otherwise lacking in the human condition, the collective memories of human experience and their final destination, at least for the time being. He could sense the relative ease with which to move the dirt-encrusted beast, sitting within its most natural of serenities. Weight, it seemed, was a relative term. The hard outer walls, perhaps aware of the small amount of matter held within themselves. No matter, never mind, a withered soul had once proclaimed, though the gravity of the situation was rather significant. He glanced at the innards in the most direct of silent reflections, the withering of the inner condition holding within itself the feeling that would so forcefully trigger the human senses, rekindling within a stance perhaps agnostic of human perception. Maybe this is only the tip of the iceberg, he whispered to himself, conscious of all that lay outside of his capacity, though somehow incapable of understanding the specifics. The walls in hand, tacked together in the retention of pieces of lives now lost, were no different than those surrounding the prisoners living dormant around him, held in the shallow light of existence, as though contorted in abandonment. The will of a silent air surrounding him, all the while. Even from the most elite of positions, the memories of the outermost reflection were not felt from the most obvious of angles. The sorrow now left behind was a silent peace which could be felt in this legacy of a splintered wood, gripped by the remnants of the dying earth. He stood idly within the unsolvable puzzle, attempting to taste the legacy of sorrow as held by all mankind. Perhaps I should start from the beginning, whispered a solemn voice from just beyond the farthest of glass houses, built from timeless stone upon shifting sand. The spirit of the sky spoke in words that obtained the knowledge of the entire generation's deeds, though the simple man sitting below him could hear nothing of his words, simply stroking his fingers against the grain of the wooden planks. The cheap wood could be felt splintering off in discrete chunks, crumbling away over time, causing a pain to the fingers that only just touched the threshold of perception. That feeling tied into its most recent memories, though only the sky could place the contents of the box into a place so distant that it fell within man's domains. The words flowed out, unnoticed by the deaf ear held in concealed daylight.
So that's a little introduction to the story here. I promise it'll make more sense as it continues. The let's see if anyone likes that, if anyone's interested in this sort of thing, and maybe we'll continue with this on this channel here. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a great remainder of your long weekend.
Ciao.